Everyone. If the cat will come back by again, I'll hold him up, but he's gone running off. That's all right. I just woke him up, so he's probably going to have lots of energy, so we'll let him play around for a bit. Well, this is the day before Thanksgiving, and I've done my videos in reverse order because I do the videos as God gives me the message. So I've already done my Thanksgiving video, and it's up there already. So I'm doing this the day before. We're looking at something significant in Israel, something that's going to cost the United States dearly. Biden wanted something on his record of accomplishing something for Israel. What's he accomplished? A peace agreement between Israel and Hezbollah. It's not solving the problem, it's making it worse. It basically says, Israel, tie your hands behind your back, gag your mouth, and just do what I tell you to do so I can get credit. That's essentially it. But Israel had to comply, or the United States would basically turn their back on them for 2 months and let the UN have them. That wouldn't be good. There'd be sanctions, there'd be all kinds of stuff. It would take a while to fix in January. So he's basically, fine, I've got other problems. You can have this. We're still working on Gaza. We still have to deal with Iran's nuclear power. So that's where it currently sits. Hopefully we're going to see something significant out of that. But the United States is going to pay a price. Every time the United States has interfered in Israel, we've paid a price. Okay. How many different churches have you gone to where you've looked around, you're shopping? You shop for churches the way you shop for clothes or anything else. You're looking for something that gives you what you need. Sometimes you look for things for what you want, but hopefully you will find things that you need. Not every church is going to be perfect. There's only one church that's perfect, and it's in heaven, and we don't get to it until the end. So do the best you can. And quite possibly the one thing that it's missing is you. So the bottom line is that you go to different churches. Some churches you sit there with your hands folded in your lap, and you keep your mouth shut, and you don't do anything, and you say whatever they tell you to say. You repeat after me, or whatever they're doing. Some places they alternate the verses. Pastor will read one verse, and the congregation reads another. In other words, you repeat everything that they say. There's different ways of doing it. Find one that matches you. There's other ones, and you can go all the way to the extreme of the Pentecostals, where they're jumping in the aisles. And I don't have a problem with any of them. It's a personality thing. Whatever you want to do. It has to do with attitude. And the word is reverence. It has to do with reverence. Reverence, regard or treat with deep respect. The many divine beings reverenced by tradition. We have angels, we have God, we have Jesus, the three in one, and all of his workers, different types of angels. Whenever they came to earth, people bowed down to them in reverence. Many were told, don't bow down to us, we're workers just like you are. Kitty, what are you getting into? Okay, where is he? Come here, kitty. Come here. Come here. Well, he's playing hard to get. So I'll let him run around until he actually comes over here. Kitty, kitty, kitty. So it's your attitude in church, and that's the key. If you're there to worship God and to share the love of God to others in your congregation, then you go there, you get fed, sometimes literally, but usually figuratively. You help feed others. You might work at one of the minor jobs. I taught Bible study for years. You can do other things in the church. You can help in the kitchen. If they're fixing meals for the homeless this time of year, that's a good place for you to feel you're worthy of what God offers. So, you can remain quiet or you can jump for joy. The joy of the Lord is my strength. It just depends on how you want to show it. Okay, we have a loving God and He appreciates both. And you can mix it up. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Sometimes I've had churches that did both. They were kind of more in the middle. You know, if you're at one end or the other, that might be too extreme for most people. And I've been in both, but I prefer kind of in the middle, maybe a little bit more towards the Pentecostal side, you know, as far as shifting that way off center. Because I like to be able to listen to good music and sing loud. I like hymns, but I like modern music too, and I have no problem if you want guitars and drums in there, as long as they can play for the hymn as well. Okay, I'm going to look at some verses here just to get some ideas. Leviticus 19:30. God tells the Israelites to keep my Sabbath and reverence my sanctuary. So we're told to be reverent. Leviticus, that's part of the law. Israelites have been practicing that or trying to for thousands of years. Again in the law, Deuteronomy 13:4. The Israelites are told to walk after the Lord our God and fear Him and keep His commandments. Now, we know from history they couldn't do it. Therefore, we can't do it. But God can. So we have to call on God to help us. Let me see if I can get... Well, he's coming up, clawing at my back, and I try to reach him and he runs off. Okay, he knows he's being a pest at this time. He's getting attention. That's what cats do. Psalm 22:23. Those who fear the Lord are told to praise Him, glorify Him, and stand in awe of Him. You can stand in the presence of God. You can bow in the presence of God. Kitty, where are you? Come on, everybody wants to see you. But God wants respect, and He's earned it. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Solomon tells people to fear God and keep His commandments. Solomon, Ecclesiastes, the wisest man in the world. He's just playing. Now he's running over on that side. Kitty, kitty, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Up we go. There we go. Okay, now we got the cat in the picture. Of course, he doesn't want to do that. So I'll put you back down. And I have my drink for this time so that I don't get the hiccups again. I drink tea and then I use the bottles. I can't have an open cup in this tent with a cat. And I make flavored water, non-sugar flavored water. But I also have tea if I run out. I don't like drinking. We do this with our kids a lot. I'm going to do another rabbit hole. We do this with our kids a lot. We put a bottle in their mouth when they're babies, and then they lose all their teeth because they're sucking on sugar, and it's in their mouth all the time. And Milka does the same thing. It's still food on the teeth. That's why they lose their baby teeth, I think, is one of the things that God planned. Smart of God, wasn't it? Okay. Into the New Testament. 1 Peter 2:17. Peter tells people to fear God. Fear is to respect God. It's not to cower down. Oh my God, it's that mean and awful, nasty God. I don't want to do anything wrong because He's going to punish me. No. That's what the world is told by Satan. That's why they don't want to have anything to do with us or God. But God's just the opposite. Everything that he does is out of love, not out of punishment or wrath. That's why we're not going to be here for the tribulation. I shaved today, so hopefully this will fill in a little bit more. I may start adding some color to it. I don't know. I don't like these big white chops out there. I got to cut that back. I cut my own here. That's easy. You just pull it out and cut it. So I'll be doing that here in the next, probably tomorrow. So I look good for Thanksgiving. Hebrews 12:28. Paul tells people to serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear. Again, reverence and fear, or reverence and respect. That's how we're to be treating God. And again, he's earned it. This time of year, we can go out and put people's mind at ease. If you heard that boom, it's still hunting season. And quite frankly, it's dark, but I don't know what the rules are. Usually it's an hour after sunset you're allowed to shoot. It's duck and goose season right now. It ought to be turkey season so you can have a turkey for Thanksgiving. There's lots of turkeys in this park. They gather together and you see them. They run across the road. They don't stay around because they know they're food for somebody. This park is full of critters that are fun to get. Kitty's still running around. Kitty, come here. Kitty. Well, you can see it's getting dark behind me because I'm doing this in the evening. I already did my other video. I've been trying to, this week, give you a sunset. The clouds are not behaving. We had a little bit of rain this morning, not much. And the clouds are just staying overcast. He's running. Kitty. Now he's hiding. After Thanksgiving, I'm going to start working on, I've been shopping to find a new tent. I like this basic design, so I've got one picked out. It's on Amazon, and it's around $200. I may do a fundraiser. If you've got extra money, which is difficult this time of year, throw it over on PayPal or on the thanks button. I'd appreciate it. I have to buy a tent every year because they don't hold up. This one's probably got about 4 or 5 holes in it that I've patched. It has a water leak now. When it rains consistently for a day, I get water in my tent underneath the refrigerator. I can't find it. It's not a big hole. It has to rain for a long time. So I have to replace these tents every year. $200 a year is not a bad deal. They've got tents that go up to $3,000. I mean, my God, who would want to have that? But I guess the elite show up and put their tablecloths on their tables inside the tent and have their wine glasses out there and enjoy it. Not me. I don't need that. But I might get one that's just a little bit larger. This is a 10 by 12. And I'm looking at a 14 by 14. So it'll be a little bit larger. That's what, 256? I think so. 12 and 12 is 144. 14 and 14. I don't know. I'd have to do the math. Anyhow, it doesn't seem right. 256 doesn't sound right. It's not. Maybe 186 or something. I'd have to do the math. It's not a big deal. It's arithmetic. Einstein had trouble with arithmetic. I got an A on a physics test one time that I got the wrong answer on because I made an arithmetic error. I didn't add something right. We weren't allowed to use calculators back then. Nowadays, you program all your stuff into it, and that's all they care about, is that you get the passing grade so they can get their paycheck. I hope they put their school system back. I hope they fire the government agencies that look after the schools, because they become indoctrination schools instead of teaching schools. They need to put auto shop and all those other shops and home ec and typing and all that stuff, skills that you can use throughout life. They need to put them back in school. All right. God will appreciate your love and respect this time of the year. Next month, more so. This month, we're supposed to kind of take God's love and share it with others. Next month, we're going to honor God and share the love back to Him. It's a loving time of year. And like I said, the world expects you to be like that. So don't let them down. Till we meet in the clouds, God bless.